So we're going to be talking about a book today called Santa Took Them by William Malmborg. So this is kind of a Christmassy horror. It was coming up to Christmas and I thought I'd get in the festive spirits, and I liked horrors. So I decided to read a Christmas horror. If you're not the Christmassy person or you're a bit of a Grinch, don't worry though. This book is about as Christmassy as Die Hard. Here's the plot.
No one in Holybrook has forgotten the horror that unfolded on Christmas Eve all those years ago. And now, as a terrifying blizzard descends upon the small isolated town, the teens begin disappearing one by one. It looks as if that gruesome night was just the beginning.
So to start with, here's a warning. If you don't like violence, this book is not for you. It's quite violent and quite graphic. So I decided to read this book as it was coming up to Christmas, and I thought I'd get in the Christmas spirit. I like horrors, so I put two and two together and thought, why not read a horror Christmas book? I'm going to admit, the first 20% of the book, I was asking myself what I've got myself into, basically. I thought it was kind of a cheap book. After the first 20%, though, it did get good. It got decent. There was some plot twists, although I did find the plot twists kind of transparent, and I guessed the ending at about 60% the way through. Things I liked about this book: it was quite youth-focused. The type of language used was quite colloquial, a lot of modern-day young language. A lot of the book was written through text message as well. So if you don't like that kind of young language, this book isn't for you. However, I felt it fitted the book quite well. Things I didn't like about this book: I did find the plot kind of transparent, as I said, and I did guess it early on. I'm not saying it wasn't a good plot or plot twist. It was, and it was interesting, but if you're used to these kind of plot twists, you did pick up on it and kind of guessed it pretty early on in the book. I know this was a horror, but I think if I was to change anything about the book, I would probably take some of the gruesomeness. A lot of them were killed with axes. I just didn't think it needed it. I think it was a decent book by itself without having this cheap kind of slasher feel to it. So what would I rate this book? Well, given the fact it's not a well-known book and I just kind of stumbled on it when I was looking for books, I was quite impressed. I'm going to give it probably a straight 4. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't the most amazing book I've read, but for the price I paid for it and the plot behind it, it was really decent.